A string in Java is a sequence of characters. So strings are immutable, which cannot be changed once it is created. And Java treats them as objects of a string class in Java dot, which is present in Java dot lang package. So there are multiple ways to create string. One is using string literals. So most of the time we use a string literals approach itself. So here to create a string, what we are doing is we just give a string object name and variable name and required a value. And this approach will be stored in string pool area, and which saves the memory by reusing existing object. That is, so an object is created in the method area. So let's say you have created a string with value SWE. So if you have two variables with same value, which it will point to same area, so no need to use, or like it will use existing object itself if you have a same value. In case of new keyword, so if you go with a new keyword approach, uh, it will be stored in heap memory, and it's create a new object every time, even if the content is same. If the same, like if you create a variable with using new keyword, so if the value is same, it will create a separate object. So there will be two SWE reference object, and it will be reference to the A and B variables. And there are some common string methods available inside Java. To get the length of a string, we can use a length method, and to get the uh, index of character, you can use charAt and pass the index. Then to get the part of string, you can use substring, and to convert a string to a lowercase or uppercase, you can use two lowercase and two uppercase method. And so sometimes you get the input value with extra space. To do that, like you can to remove that, you can use a trim method. And to compare two strings, we have equals and equals ignore case method. Like equals is case sensitive, and ignore case is uh, case insensitive. Then to check whether the passed or substring present in the string, you can use a contains method. Then replace to replace the characters. Then split to split the string using delimiter. Let's say if you want to split the email which contains at symbol, you can use split method by passing at symbol, and which will split the string into two. So it will convert the object type into array here. So first you will have a string, after split it will be array of string. Then concat to append the string into whatever the string which you have created. So here is an example. I have created a string object with a value Java programming. The first one will print the object, that is string. Then to trim, you can use string dot trim. I have extra space here. It will trim the space. Then to get the length of string, you can use dot length, and to convert the string into uppercase, you can use dot to uppercase. Then to get the substring, you can use substring, and to get the character, you can use a charAt by passing the index of the character. To compare two string, you can see here I have dot equals and dot equals ignore case. This will return true and this will return false, because both are having different cases. And a string immutability. So as I mentioned, once the string is created, it can't be changed. It will create a new object. So here, if the value is different, it will create new object. Here you can see I have a string s with value code, and I'm using concat method to append the string, but it won't change. So what happens is it will create a new value. So if you print yes, it will just give you code itself. Then comparing a string. So we have some options here, that is using equals or equals ignore method. This will compare based on content. And if you use operator equals double equals, it will compare based on the reference, object reference. Then we have a compare to. So basically it will compare using lexicographically approach. That is, the compare to method compares to string based on the unicode value of each character in the string, and method returns 0 if the string is equal to other string, and it will return like if it is less than 0, that is if it is minus 1, then the other string the string is less than other string, and if it is plus 1, that will be or greater than 0, that will be string is greater than other string. It's just comparing two string. Here you can see when you compare a to b, it will give minus 1 because a is lesser than b. When you compare it on order, so a b comes after a, that's why it is giving you minus 1. Then we have like if you want to make a string as immutable, we have option called a string buffer and string builder. So string builder is fast and it's not thread safe, and string buffer is thread safe and it's lesser faster than string builder. So to create string buffer or string builder, you can use the same approach as you used in string or new keyword, that is string method builder class. Use the class name, use new keyword and pass the required value. So when you use append, it won't get changed, so it's a mutable. Like you can see, I have created a variable sb, that is string builder. The same approach can be used for buffer as well. When you use sb dot append, uh, the output will be hello world itself. In case of string, when you use a string literal, the output will be code even though you added or concatenated a new value. But in case of string buffer or string builder, when you use dot append, it will have a new value and it will change the value of a string. And the memory allocation, so in Java, strings are treated differently in memory based on how they are created. As I mentioned, like this is crucial for performance and understanding immutability. So, and like when you create a string, it will be allocated in a method area, and method area of JVM memory, which you already seen in my previous video. And it meant like usually it maintains a pool of unique string literals, so which saves memory by using strings with a same value. And when you do it string literals, as I mentioned, it will be stored in pool area. And when you create with a new keyword, so it will be stored in heap memory. Again, the reference will be stored in stack reference or in the stack. So again, where strings are stored, when you create with a string literal, it's stored in string pool, and with new keyword, it's in heap. The same goes for string buffer and string builder. When you create with string buffer or builder, it will be stored in heap. And if you go with a literal, it will be stored in string pool. And then comes use cases and all. So when you create a string with same value, as I mentioned, here I have a variable a and b with the same value. When you compare it, it will give true because the reference is same. As I mentioned, like you're seeing here, object reference are same, so that as equals check with object, so both have a same object, so it will return true. Then when you create a string with literals and a new keyword, so as this goes with string pool and heap, and when you compare both using equals operator, it will give you false, and when you use equals, it will give true because the value is same or content is same. Then, so if you can force a heap string into pool using intern method. So when you create a string with new keyword, and if you use intern method, it will be stored in a pool area. So you can see I have created another variable with hello, and I have converted um, a, a string which is created with a new keyword using intern, and as the both the value are same, it will reference to the same object, and when you compare with equals, it will give a true. So these are I discussed, like when you create a string with a literal keyword and with interned string, both will be stored in string pool memory, and when you create with new keyword or with a string buffer or string builder, it will be stored in heap. To summarize, like basically in Java, strings are object and which is immutable, and use string buffer or builder class to make it mutable, and use dot equals or equals ignore case method to compare instead of equals operator, and yeah, strings are stored in a string pool for memory efficiency. So I have an example here, Java string example. I have created a Java program. Then you can see, to get the length of string, I am using string.length using the variable, whatever the reference you have created. Using that, you have to call the methods. So let me execute this first. Yeah. So this is example. So the length of string is 20, and when you trim, you can see the value was having the spaces. So using trim, it will be trimmed. And to convert it to uppercase or lowercase, use uppercase or two uppercase or two lowercase methods. Then to get the character for passed in index. So at index 2, 0, 1, 2, I have V. So I'm checking with a trimmed string. Then to get the substring, for passed string, you can use substring method with start and end index. So at fifth, that is j is on 0th position, I'm checking with trimmed. So with trimmed, you can see 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. From 5 to 11, progra will be printed. That's the substring. Then to check whether provided substring is present within the string, so use contains to check that. Like you can see whether is present within the string. So gram is present here, so it will return true. Then to compare a string with lowercase and uppercase, as this has uppercase, so it will return false. Where it is, start with Java. Okay, yeah, here equals. Then ignoring case, so it will return true. Then index of a, to replace a with star, can see it replaced. To get the index, to replace the character, you can use index of or replace. Then to split, based on spaces, you can see, as I mentioned, when you use split method, it will convert a string to array. So it will be stored in string array class. Then you can iterate over it. Then is empty, is blank method, which is available in Java version 11 plus. So you can check whether a string is empty or is blank. So here you can see I have created empty string to check whether string is empty or not. So before using any string, before using any of this method, better to use this method to check whether a string is empty or not. So how you can use is a string not equal to null, then check this method and you can use these methods. Yeah, this is all about string in Java. Thanks for watching.